5 were captured and imprisoned as traitors. 12 had their homes ransacked and burned. 9 fought and died from wounds and hardships of the war. 56 men pledged their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor by signing their names to the Declaration of Independence. This was a time for greatness. These were ordinary men who lived ordinary lives until faced with a cause much greater than themselves. How many of us today know what it means to stand for such a cause? Where are the leaders who can inspire us into action and help us to stand taller? There was a time in the history of our nation when the words of great leaders moved us to want to do great things. Where are these leaders? FBLA provides us with the opportunity to be these leaders, to develop our character, prepare for useful citizenship, and foster patriotism. We are called to lead others through character, conviction, and courage. Great leaders have conviction, a fire within, a passion for the cause. As Benjamin Franklin stated while signing his own name to the Declaration, we must all hang together, or assuredly, we will all hang separately. They were committed and united, and we, as future business leaders, must lead with conviction and with spirit. Great leadership is not defined by short outbursts of emotion, but by a sincere dedication of a lifetime. Thomas Jefferson, when drafting the Declaration, was not only declaring independence, but creating a representation of what America was to become, a great nation. And as future leaders of such, it is our responsibility to remember and preserve these things of our past. Our future as leaders depends on our ability to develop character. Character is knowing the difference between what is right and what is wrong, and having the courage to do what is right. America was founded on principles, and these principles must be found in the hearts of its people. Who better to inspire today's companies to be virtuous, but leaders with genuine character in all they say and do? George Washington was a perfect example of this. Following the Revolutionary War, Congress didn't have the funds to pay the soldiers for their service. This caused talk of mutiny and discontent among the ranks. George Washington, in a final attempt to calm them, began reading a letter from Congress. He then stopped. He reached into his pocket and grabbed something these men had never seen him use before: his spectacles. "Gentlemen," he said quietly, "you must pardon me, for I have grown gray in your service, and now find myself growing blind." This honest, humble act moved these men to set aside their discontent. And we, as future leaders, must learn to lead not only with words, but with simple, genuine actions. Thomas Paine, in 1776, wrote, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in these trials, shrink from the service of his nation." Our first business leaders did not shrink from challenge. Patrick Henry, when debating between freedom or security, declared, "Give me liberty or give me death." Now that is courage. That is the kind of courage that we, as the future leaders of this nation, must have when facing challenges in business and elsewhere. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "No man is worth his salt who is not ready at all times to risk his life in a great cause." Our great cause is a war against indifference. Indifference to mediocrity in the workplace and in the world. We must recognize the challenges we face today as opportunities and rise courageously to meet them. Our founders' love for this country was deep and intense. On Independence Day, they laid it all on the line. FBLA provides us with the opportunity to be these leaders, to develop our character, prepare for useful citizenship, and share in a love for our country, just as our first leaders had. When you look to our flag, a representation of America and its principles, remember the truth of our past. Those who thought of it and fought for it were not giants. They were ordinary people, like you and like me, who chose to rise above their own mediocrity to change the world.